if you're talented enough, you're old enough. That's Kirby Smart talking about uh, his philosophy on young guys playing. And when you think about it, we're going to go through this real quick, but I think every single season they have had a significant starter that's been a true freshman. Certainly in 16 and 17, they had two quarterbacks. I mean, starting a quarterback at a true freshman quarterback. It's just an amazing confidence in younger players, and this is something that's gone on at Georgia for a while. Jalen Carter, I can't recall if he started in 2020, but he played a lot. And when you look at this Georgia team, and you think about Andrew Thomas, and you think there was a time in the Notre Dame game in 2017 when it was third and like 4 or 5, and they were trying to score to win the game. They were losing. And there's about 4 minutes to go in the game, something like that. On that third down, the final drive offensively of the game for Georgia, they had like four freshmen on the field at that moment. Jake Fromm, DeAndre Swift, Andrew Thomas, and there was another player or two that were out there as true freshmen. And I wrote about it at the time over on Dog Post. And Kirby's point in all of this is we're going to go out and recruit. We're going to create competition. We're not scared of competition in any way. This is what we want, yada, yada, yada. But, I'm looking right now, like, Keely Ringo was a young guy, right? Not a super old player. This was his first season at Georgia. I mean, like, as a player, playing. So his point remains, which is that if you're young enough, if you're good enough to play, you are going to play. It is irrelevant how old you are. But I think, to me, they handle it completely correctly in terms of the development of guys. And, I mean, here's a guy busting through that no one knows what grade he's in or what class he's in because they don't even think about it. I mean, the truth is, it shouldn't be if you're talented enough, you're old enough. It should just be if you're talented enough, you're good enough. Because here's a play from Dan Jackson who has switched his jersey. There's Dan Jackson right there blocking it, but kind of blends in a little bit. You can't see the Arkansas punter. But that ended that game. And Dan Jackson has been old enough. I mean, he's not a freshman. But this is another walk-on making big plays at Georgia. Why? Why are they making plays? Because they don't care. They don't have any favorites there. They are developing whoever is in their system. This guy played, talking about Dan Jackson, played in a middle of nowhere school. They don't care where you're from, Stetson Bennett. They don't care how old you are, Andrew Thomas. They don't care. They don't care if you're a guy that everybody's forgotten about, Christopher Smith. They just don't. It doesn't matter to them what your pedigree is. As soon as you get on the practice field, if you're good enough, you're playing. Make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. The link is down below. I am running out of these books. I'm going to have to order them this week. Make sure you order today so that I can get it off to you quickly because there's a delay in time in which I can get the books. Everybody that's on this cover will be back this season. They all have different journeys. Nolan Smith, #1 player in the country. Dan Jackson. That's Dan Jackson right there. Taking the hit. Someone leveled Dan Jackson. That is William Poole right there. Everybody has forgotten about William Poole. He's on the biggest play of the season. Well, I don't know what the biggest play of the season was. I mean, cause I don't necessarily think it was Keely returning that play for a touchdown. Look at Chris Smith. He has just taken out Bryce Young right here. Poor Bryce Young had a bad throw. Bad decision, bad throw. Look at those eyeballs. These guys, if you're in this book, if you're on this team, you're there, you're on the field because you've earned it. You're not there because there's a reputation that's going to happen, this, that, and the other. Think about this 22 team. You're going to have Eric Gilbert. You're going to have Stetson Bennett. You're going to have Jalen Carter. You're going to have, Kyrus Jackson, Kendall Milton. There ain't nothing similar to those guys. Those guys are all different. I mean, Eric Jackson played at, I said Eric Jackson. Eric Jackson, go old friend of mine. Eric Gilbert played at LSU. Stetson Bennett played at Jones Community College. Kendall Milton was considered an elite player coming out of California. Jalen Carter, an elite player coming out of Florida. There's no simple formula to make things work. Everybody's eager for Arch Manning to come to Georgia, and I'm sure no one more eager than Kirby and company, but there's no certainty he will start at Georgia. There's no certainty of anything. I have lived through Matthew Stafford. I've lived through Jacob Eason. I lived through Isaiah Crowell. You got to prove it. That's it. If you don't prove it, it's all a lot of talk, frankly. And it's from people like me. It's us. Because we don't know, because the kids don't know, the coaches don't really know. You got to go do it. And that's what we're seeing at Georgia is the program is a big sifter. And they are getting down to their best 11 players on the field at any moment. There are no certainties in any of this. Amarius Mims is a guy who has a great opportunity. He is 2 years into his time at Georgia. He's going to have to fight his way onto the field. Chaz Chambliss is somebody that is, I think, a very good pass rusher, personally. Saw that when he was at Carrollton. And he's going to have to fight his way onto the field playing the way that the style that he plays. There's no easy answer here. I mean, Kendall Milton could totally explode onto the scene this year in 22. I mean, he could be. Some people could be like, "What? Why didn't he do that last year?" I mean, it's tough to get on the field at Georgia, but you gotta be gifted enough. You gotta go fight it out. And he's right. If you're talented enough, you're old enough. He's just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna play young guys. I don't care. I mean, I don't care." Well, clearly, I mean, they've done that at Georgia for a long time now, and Kirby has had success with that. Won the national championship. How many times have they played in the SEC championship? They missed it in 16 and 2020. So 4 times they played in the championship game. Gone on to the playoffs twice. Won the national championship once. Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Peach Bowl. Leaving another one out. I can't remember all of the bowl games. The New Year's Six bowl games. Peach. Hold on now. Rose. Sugar. I left the Sugar Bowl out. So they have done virtually all you can do because there are no hard rules. This guy's got to play. No. And if you're young and you're good enough, you're going to play. But if you're young and you're developing, like Mims, Christopher Smith, Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, there is no certainty you won't go in the first round coming up to your last year at Georgia. We just can't know that anymore. But Kirby's right. If you're good enough, you're old enough.